on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Oh my goodness, that audience. Wow. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you, meet you, hear you. You're clapping. Hello, John.
Hey, James. Good to be with you tonight.
Good to be with you. I'm having a little bit of feedback, so it's on my part.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit. I think it's because the stream, so many people are tuning in.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes. Well, I can hear myself, though.
Okay.
I have a really bad sounding voice. I'm not crazy about my voice.
All right.
Even when I tape something on television, I don't like to watch myself. And I don't like to hear myself. So I change my voice. So,
All right. So that should be better. Melinda, do you hear us okay?
I hear you just fine.
And are you hearing yourself as well?
Not really.
Okay. That's weird, James. I don't know why that would.
I know, but I'm weird, John. As you say. So, everybody, thank you for joining us. And tonight's a very, very special, special night because my good friend, who I've known for many, many, many years, we don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long, long time, is an incredible, gifted being. And I just looked up her chart, so I can say that for sure. And Melinda Vail is an incredible intuitive and hypnotherapist, and also works with karmic, would you call it, karmic profiling, which I'll explain in a second, and a medium as well. And so I've known Melinda for a long time. I really loved this show because it's a showcase to bring on other friends, other people who have certain abilities and gifts, and to share them with you. So, Melinda, welcome, and thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. I just love being anywhere where you are, James.
Oh, well, thank you, Melinda. Thank you. I love where you are too. And I know you for a long time. And for those who don't know about you, can you tell them a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. I'm a medium and an intuitive therapist and a hypnotherapist. My specialty as a hypnotherapist is helping heal inner child issues and, trauma from childhood. And I do a little bit of psychic work, psychic readings, a little bit of medium work, and get some calls from all over the country, and many more calls thanks to you, my friend, because you're so generous in your nature and always such a giving gentleman that I've always appreciated everything you've done.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, you're on my website, definitely. And you've done work. You've done work with detectives, psychic detective work as well. Yes.
Yeah, I've worked for the police here in Phoenix several times, especially on some cold cases and a few hot cases, but some missing people and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was with you once when there was a little girl that was missing, and you discovered something when I was with you, and I was like, it was wild. It was pretty amazing when it happened. That I was actually with you when you discovered something, and then it was on the news.
Yeah, it's hard work. Yeah, that kind of work is hard work, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I used to do it early on, and I was on kidnap cases, and I was very much involved with kidnaps, and it wasn't even for the public. It was just privately done through some police agencies. It was very, very hard to do that with the results. What would you say to people at karmic profiling? Now, what is that?
Well, karmic profile is really all about who you've come onto the planet to work through, or who you really are coming into this world, how you've chosen your parents, what you do with your nurture, what you do with your nature, how you understand your Akashic records from past lives, your level of emotional maturity and what that means, because you have to have some level of emotional maturity to even look at your karmic profile. And then a deeper understanding of how the law of attraction really works, not how we're taught that it works, but how it really works. And it really works from something within our Pavlovian mind or something through the hereditary factors in the DNA. So I help people understand all those different attributes of their karmic profile so they can figure out what their purposefulness is on the planet. Because as you know, James, that's one of the questions we all get. What's my purpose on the planet?
Yeah.
So it's about learning who you are.
Learning who you are and accepting it and loving who you are.
Right,
and a lot of people ask this to me, so I'm going to ask it to you. So before we come back onto this earth, do you believe that we sit with our teachers and our guides and go through kind of a soul blueprint before we come back onto the earth, or does it happen when we get here?
No, I think it happens before we come. I think there is some designation. I do think that we have free will still about finding out where we're going to end up, because...
So that's what I'm asking. What's the difference between destiny and free will? How do you see that?
All right. Well, let's just say that you're in New York and it's your destiny to get to California. So you're going to get to California no matter what, but your free will is what vehicle you take, whether you take a car, a boat, hitchhike, motorcycle, walk, whatever. So the free will brings different kinds of experiences with it, but you'll still get to that destination.
Oh, that's great. And when you read somebody like tonight, we'll be reading a lot of people here. How do you tune in? Like, and how do you work? Because a lot of people work very differently. So I'm just curious to how you work to share with everybody.
I'm mostly clairaudient. I mostly hear things. You know, James, I was raised a good Catholic girl, and we were we were told to shut up and listen.
Sure, got that one. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mostly I shut up and listen. But sometimes I'm clairvoyant. Sometimes I see things, but mostly it's through, hearing. Yeah.
Yes, and
Some empathic energy, but
and it depends a lot on the person receiving the message too, or who's there, who's a recipient. Don't you find?
absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
there are some people that are very hard to read for me because they're in the way. They get in the way. They want too much. They try too hard, and it gets in the way. And John, you and I have been through that a lot in this show, haven't we?
We sure have. About
Yeah,
boundaries and
and then with people that are very open, things just happen very, very easily, it seems.
Yeah. Well, I find that some people who think they're very open are actually very closed, and some people who think that they're closed are actually very open. It just depends. I'd rather do a reading for a skeptic any day of the week because they're not worried about what you're going to give them. It just comes naturally rather than the person that's hanging on your every word.
Right, they're not trying to prove anything to them. They just get what they get, and I like
That's
that.
right.
I like that too. I think everybody should be open-minded skeptics, no doubt about it. I've always
Absolutely.
believed it. And we're both Virgos, so
Right.
we think
Right.
a lot.
We are. Yes, we
We're
do.
critical thinkers. And everybody that's watching this, whenever you're watching this or hearing this, Melinda and I will be together for a 2-day workshop, and that's going to be November the 19th. So you can write that down, November 19th, and that's going to be in Phoenix, and it's going to be some fabulous resort, right, Melinda? Fabulous resort.
Oh, wonderful. The Mauna Lucia in Scottsdale. It's just a beautiful place for us to provide you with the information that we're going to provide you, and we're just going to have a great time.
And we're calling it Shed Now, Light on Life, Death, and Karma, and Shedding the Veil. The Veil, Melinda
Yes.
Vail. Melinda Vail, Shedding the Veil. And it's really going to be interesting. So new awareness of your life, of the spirit life, of you as a medium or a psychic person, use your own intuition. It's going to be a great weekend. So I'm looking really, really forward to sharing that with you.
Me too, James. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
And so John, this is Melinda Vail. I've known her for a long time. You have any questions for Melinda?
Hi, John.
Hi, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you, John.
James
you
and I
sound so charming.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, James and I kind of got into it last week about the blueprints. So it's very interesting that we have you tonight to talk about that because I was kind of going off the deep end with that, wasn't I, James?
Yeah, just a little. Just a little.
Well, John, now you've got to look at your inner child from around 10 years old for your blueprint, okay?
Okay.
It's right around 10 that you're looking at what was manifesting through you.
Interesting.
And am I supposed to remember that?
Well, you can meditate on that and remember some.
Mm-hmm.
So there might have been some kind of an experience that happened at 10 years of age
Okay.
that is relevant, is there in his soul history? Is that
It can be very subtle, too. A lot of times when we do this, it's not the blatant energy that really changes people. It's the subtle energy that changes people. It's the very subtle things that, become reality to a child that we're looking to clear. It's not, I moved 5 times or my parents got divorced. Some of that's already handled by the conscious mind. It's those subtle little messages that a kid gets, that you're not good enough or you are, responsible for other people's feelings. And you get that in a subtle way that makes the difference energetically.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that, Melinda, would you say is the ego involved in that? So let's say if we go back to John, 10 years of age, and the ego gets in the way. I mean, there's a difference between the ego and then the soul. So how can you read the both, or how do they know?
Well, that's
I don't know what I'm asking you, but the ego.
No. I think I get what you're asking me because I think that's such a great question. Well, it's got to be all ego, but still has to be soul driven because if you've got a specific lesson to learn, and you've got to learn that lesson through your ego, it's got to be a combination of both. It's got to be a balance of both.
Mm-hmm.
And do you find healing the inner child, inner child work, closes up that lesson and finishes that lesson off, and they're open to experience more things and expand more?
Right. And moves that energy out of the way so it's different in the frequency. Because, the 7 chakras coincide with the 7 stages of human development. So if you're not clearly moving through those stages of development, you're not going to move that vibration because the Kundalini energy is going to allow that vibration out to the, universal energy and it's going to be reflected back.
And it's so true. When I do workshops, which I'll do with our workshop, we do this scanning the energy going through the chakras. And I mean, so many times you can see where it's stuck in the emotional centers because of something that happened in childhood or something happened with their mother or their father or something at school. And it blocks the energy from flowing many times.
Absolutely. And often it's school. It's often a teacher.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
It's often
For
a
sure.
teacher, and now, people can have great parents, but a tough experience with a teacher or another kid or, that kind of thing.
So would that be called unresolved trauma that we carry into adulthood?
Yes, some of it's unresolved trauma, but again, John, some of it can be very simplistic in its energy, and it wouldn't appear to be trauma if you were talking to a psychologist. It's a subtle kind of energy that gets kind of put into your mind that creates who you are, part of what your being is.
I've done a reading once for this, several times. I remember a soul-to-soul reading where I'd be reading somebody, and clairvoyantly I would see the heart chakra. And the only way I could describe it was I see the heart is stained, which means there's some staining from relationships that weren't fulfilled or there was emotional hurt there that made that heart stained. I think stained is the only way I could describe it.
That makes sense to me. That, that there was some kind of an imprint, like a stain on the heart.
Imprint.
That you would see it like a stain because it was imprinted into the heart chakra.
And many people start living the imprint. That's why fear, and I'm not good enough, I don't love myself enough. Or
Exactly.
wouldn't you think that's pretty
Exactly.
interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting stuff.
And that's why people grow up to be people pleasers, right?
Right, which is what you are, John.
That's why
He is.
I don't know.
You got yourself into that one,
I
John.
did.
And so, would you say people pleasers always trying to get back that center, trying to get back that wholeness, if you will, or is that what that is?
Well, I think there's a lot of different reasons to be a people pleaser. One reason is just to get self-esteem. If somebody's pleased with you, then it boosts your self-esteem. And, of course, that is a false sense of being whole because you really have to please yourself more than anything. So, chronic giveaholics can be, just trying to find a way to, validate themselves.
True. And so, Melinda, we're going to open up the call lines, everybody. What would you like them to present to you for a reading or a session or message or whatever you...
Whatever comes through.
happens.
Yeah, I'm good. If we do what we can.
Okay, cool. So we can do stuff together, separate, whatever we want to do. So what do you think, John?
That sounds great to me. So I was just trying to get them to be a little more specific with the calls, so that we can, because we're going to try to limit calls to about 5 to 7 minutes per call if we can. Okay. So that's just if an area of focus, that would be great.
And also, if they want to contact somebody specifically in the spirit world, please give the name and the relationship because of time. We don't have time.
Right.
We would be better that way. And if there's a psychic question, ask a specific question, but don't come on the phone and say, "Hi, how you doing? I don't know what I want."
Yeah.
Because we're moving fast.
Right.
So.
Right.
So you can call 323-649-8268. Again, 323-649-8268. Calls are pouring in, so we're going to go ahead and get to our next call.
Pouring in. Okay.
Our first call, I believe, is Nancy on the line from 310. Nancy, hi. You're on the air with Melinda and James.
Yes, hi. How are you?
Good, Nancy. How are you?
Hi, Nancy.
I'm okay. I was wondering if I have a message from my mother, Joan.
Okay. Melinda, since you're up first, I give this to you first.
Okay. I'll tell you, Nancy, that there's something about Joan connecting to you through something with a pillow or something with a cross-stitch pillow or something with sewing or knitting or something with her hands. Did she sew or knit or do something with her hands? Did she sew or knit?
Somebody else mentioned, somebody else said that to me once, that she said she was sewing. And
okay, then there must be something that, if she's saying it to two of us, then there must be something that you have that's meaningful to her, some kind of quilt blanket or pillow, or she wouldn't say it to two different mediums. So you're going to have to think about what that means for you in that regard. There's also something about an owl.
I think I know what it means.
What does it mean, Nancy?
Well, I always wished that she was the type of mother that would be home sewing. I think maybe she knows that I
so
like that.
if that's what you're feeling, Nancy, then she's trying to tell you that from the other side she gets that feeling and understands that and is sorry for not doing that for you. Okay, that's what she's trying to say by giving that to two mediums. There's something with an owl, Nancy. Do you have something with an owl?
That's pretty funny.
Not that I know of.
So if maybe you look around your place you live in, or she did, maybe look around. Was she in a hospital before she passes over?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that the feels like the life is drained out of me from the top of my head to the bottom of my toes, and I feel like this lady was also one who lost weight or felt very depleted. I think that she also needed help with oxygen at one point, that she needed to breathe, because I feel that. And I know that you also helped holding her hand, or you went up to hold her hand, or wanted to hold her hand. And I know this lady was not able to give you enough emotion like you really wanted to. And I know that in a lifetime you would think that you gave more than she did. But I know that she did the best she could, Nancy. I know that she did the best she could with what she had. Oh, you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I also want to tell you that, was there anybody who had rosaries or Catholic background? It's funny because Melinda and I were talking about...
Yeah, my mother.
Okay, so do you have a rosary beads of your mother?
No, but I have...
Her Blessed Mother
the cross.
medal? No, I don't like the cross. I like something with rosary beads, so just leave you with that. And I also like something with the Virgin Mary, and I also think it's a necklace or something with the Virgin Mary. I also think the name Mary or Maria or Mary is significant on the other side.
Yeah, that's her my grandmother's name was Mary.
So she's with the Mary on the other side. Okay? And your dad's also passed over, please?
No, but he's
Where
90.
is he? Why don't you talk to him? Is he out of it a little bit or what?
We have... We always had a hard time getting along.
I want you to give him a
And he
kiss
is
on
a
his
little...
cheek. I want you to give him a kiss. I want you to give him a kiss on his cheek from your mother.
I can't because he's in California. I'm in New York.
Right. So when are you going to go out to visit him?
I really can't afford it. I mean, I was there and I was trying to help him, but...
Okay. I just know your mother's around him quite a bit, and I know there's a brother of his that's also passed over. And I know there's someone named Ruth or Ruthie as well. And I got to tell you, there's a John as well somewhere named John, with that name. And what else? Who is Brooklyn?
A Richard, something with a Richard.
My brother's name is Richard.
Okay, so there's something with a Richard. Also, somebody with something with their hip or their lower back. I see either a cane or a walker. Did your mother have a cane or a walker?
That's my father.
That's your father again. Okay, it feels like your father's going to have some compromise in his chest. And so maybe energetically you can kiss him anyway. If you could just move your energy and your feelings around just a little bit, okay?
Right on.
Because that's the problem, is that you've got to forgive him before he leaves, because you didn't forgive mom before she left.
Exactly.
And that's why she talks about the warm blanket or the sewing or the connection there. And I want you to look for an owl, because that's a sign to you from her, okay?
All right, Nancy?
Really? All right, can I ask you something
write all
else?
that down. No, we got to go through. We have 600 callers. We got to try
I'm writing
everyone
it
else.
down.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Thank you, Nancy.
Wait.
All right. Sorry about
we
that.
have so many callers.
We do. We got to keep moving.
Okay.
But I love that you brought that up, that you have to step out of the way in order to let spirit, heal.
Well, what Melinda said about that was so great, Melinda, where I knew that she had to get there energetically. And you said, yes, you move energetically. That's how we work together.
Yeah.
And she needs to be there with him in some way.
Some way, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, John.
All right, let's
one.
look
Ready.
here. We got 309 on the air. 309. Hi, you're on the air with James and Melinda.
Hello.
Hi, my name is... Hello?
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Jane.
Hello,
Hi, Jane.
Hi, James and Melinda. I'm so thrilled to get through to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
You have a question?
I was just calling, just kind of asking for some insight about my husband. He's really struggling with some mental and physical illnesses, and we had gotten married about a year ago, and we had been involved for like 4 years, and things have been great. But it just seems like in the last year, since we got married, things have just really gone downhill, and his health has really gone downhill. And so I'm just looking for some insight and guidance there.
What's his name, please?
His name is Justin.
Justin. And when is his birthday? That's all I need.
His birth date is July 2nd, 1977.
Okay. Melinda, you want to start?
let me start by saying, do you know if there's something with Justin's blood sugar? Is he have blood sugar issues, either low blood sugar or high blood sugar? There feels like there's moodiness through a blood sugar issue, and he's got a couple of breaks in his aura field. One is across his eyes, and I think some of that is depression, actually. And I think that if he looks back at around 11 or 12 years old, that he'll see that he's got some depression that kind of followed him through life. You know, it's interesting. He vacillates between some positive self-esteem and some low self-esteem, depending on where he's at and what he's doing. He also has some fear involved in his energy, and that can happen with blood sugar issues and that kind of up and down. And also, there's a break across his shoulder and neck field. Can you tell me what that is?
I know he was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 18, and I know that in his kind of lower brainstem area, he gets a lot of pain back there, and he feels like, I think, just the excessive thinking and processing and all that kind of stuff. And like I say, it's definitely the mental and physical kind of bouncing off of each other, and one creates bad feelings for the other.
Right.
Yeah, they're all together.
Food will contribute to how his mind goes with what he's doing with his blood sugar and how he's eating.
Okay. Do you have any recommendations?
Well, he also has allergies, so you have to look into the allergies that he has. He's food allergies.
Yeah, he has to have a clean diet for one thing, sweetheart. But, you know, the bigger question to me would be asking yourself what it is that you're doing karmically with this right now, you know, because I want you to watch what you're doing with codependency. Yeah, you've got to look up some codependency stuff. Not that I want you to abandon what's happening on the karmic profile, but I also think you need to balance it out, that he has to do some of the work on his own, right?
Right, absolutely.
Jane, is there a psychologist that you're seeing with him? Does he have doctors?
He has doctors, but it's kind of more like he goes and checks in and just kind of, oh, yeah, things are okay.
Yeah, no, I think he needs to be monitored.
A physical doctor.
He needs to be monitored. He needs to be monitored.
Sure, absolutely, and he is, but it's more of just a quick check-in. Oh, you know, same time in 3 months kind of thing. And then he is getting physical issues looked into as well.
Brain chemistry problems. So it needs brain chemistry. You have to have a check out. His brain chemistry needs to be checked out.
There's a Joseph. There's a Joseph. Do you know who Joe or Joseph is? Joanne, Joseph?
Yes.
Who's that,
That's
please?
My dad is Joseph.
Okay. All right.
My
so
dad.
Good. We're in the energy field because I just snatched your dad out of the energy field. So he definitely needs ongoing therapy, your husband, honey. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Jane.
I
Good luck with
appreciate
that. Good luck, my love.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye, honey.
Thank you, Jane.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's how I feel too with that. Oh.
It's hard.
Yeah, very hard.
All right, we have Jennifer, I believe, from West Virginia calling. Let's see if we get Jennifer on the line. Jennifer, are you on the line with us? Okay, let's move on to another caller then. Let's get Teresa on the line from 519. Teresa, hi. You're on the air with James and Melinda.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, James. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Canada. Okay.
Oh, nice, Teresa.
How can we
how
help
are
you
you?
tonight, sweetheart?
I was hoping I could get a message from my daughter, Natasha.
Natasha, okay. Okay, she's right around you, and she's telling me you're holding something up hers. I'm not sure if you have a photograph right there in front of you. Are you looking at her photograph or holding it?
I'm looking at a photo, yes.
Okay, because you must have been holding it earlier. You have been holding her photograph, and she's talking about that, and she's looking at that. Now, she has long brownish hair, believe it or not. You're going to say, wow, that grew, but she's showing me, projecting to me. I like beautiful, beautiful eyes. I don't feel she's old enough, but I feel did she die much younger?
She was younger, yes.
Yeah, because I don't feel older. I feel when she comes to me, she's older than she would have been when she passed. So I feel very young when I pass, almost like toddler or young age. Would that make sense to you?
Young age, not toddler.
Not toddler. Okay, but in her teens?
Almost a teen, yes.
Okay, like 11. Okay, all right.
12.
You want to go
Was
ahead?
she 11 or 12? Because I'm getting something with 12 around her. She was 12.
She was 12.
All right.
Okay, great. Do you know she also went by the water or liked the water or something with the water?
Yes, she loved the water.
Okay, because she keeps on going to the water for me. She wants me to go to the water. She wants to go to the water, go to the water. She's bring my mind to the water. And she's talking about you going to the water. And I'm not sure if you did a memorial service at the water or went down there thinking about her, but she's talking to me about that. You understand?
Yes, that makes sense, yes.
Okay, and I also want to talk about her father. I want to talk about her daddy. I want to talk about him. And I want to talk about he's blaming himself, and he shouldn't blame himself.
Okay, I'll tell him.
You're not married with him anymore. You're not together with him, are you?
Yes,
Oh,
I
you are?
am.
Perfect. Great. Okay, great.
Yes.
I just want to say, does he work with his hands? Does he like do any kind of physical work with the hands, like building things or machinery or something?
Yes, he does.
Because she just brings my hand as his hand, and it's rough. It's rough. And she takes her hand into his and holds it. And if she has soft skin and he has rough skin. And she said, and she's very, very funny. She has a very good sense of humor, but she goes to the back of his head and she clicks the back of his head. She clicks the back of his head, like taps the back of his head. So please pass it on. I know it's very funny.
Okay.
Melinda, you want to do anything?
Well, she's showing me something with heart rocks. Are you finding rocks that are heart rocks that are shaped in the shape of a heart? And there's also
I have one.
Okay, so that's tangible that when you hold that there that you can bring her energy through. Okay, and there's something with an Ann or an Annie or an Ann. Do you know who that is? Or she's saying
A friend.
Annie.
Maybe a friend
maybe?
of hers. Yeah, maybe a friend. I
Yeah.
think it's a friend. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so she's really into watching out for her friends right now. She's a guardian angel. That's part of her purpose in what she's been doing, okay? All right. Do you know who Anthony?
No.
Tony. It feels like somebody around her father, yeah?
No, not offhand.
Not if it maybe works with Tony. But also, I want to ask you about, she's talking to me about her hair. And she's talking to me about loving her hair and braiding her hair. And you have my brush, Mommy. You have her brush, and you have her, you've been looking at it, and you actually have her hair on the brush. Understand that? And you're looking at it. Yes. You were looking at it, pulling it out. And she said, my mama has all my stuff, my cosmetics. And I know she would have just started liking to wear makeup or just thought about wearing makeup. I know that would have just happened before she passes. She'd have liked to have investigated exploring wearing makeup. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And I know you still would have had a little bit of a lipstick that she tried. The first lipstick she ever had, you would still own it, she said. You still have it. And you still have my things like a little plastic bag, like a little baggie. You still have some of my things there.
Yeah.
And I know you must have a picture also of me when I was a younger girl. I'm not sure if it was a ballet photograph or a dance recital, but something to do with dancing. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she showed me dancing too. That dancing must have been very important to her. And there's something about ribbons as well.
I got ribbons too. I got her hair. I got her hair.
Yeah, ribbons.
Do you own a ribbon of hers, or a ribbon that she used to have?
She does have ribbons that she won at a fair.
Right. She loves those ribbons, okay? That's really important to her, those ribbons. She was a very accomplished 12-year-old. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and you've been a very good parent to her. She's in deep honor of the fact that you went on this journey with her. She's deeply honored by that, and she wants you to know that even though it's been very difficult for you, that you are getting kudos in heaven from it all. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you name a star after her, or did you do something with a star?
No.
I'm seeing stars.
Might be stars in her bedroom, or stars, appealing stars, the decals of stars, or in her bedroom, some star.
Okay.
So you understand that?
Not 100%, but
okay.
I'll think
Hold
about
on.
it. Yeah.
Let me go into this, honey. Let me go into this. Do you have? You're still in the. You have her bedroom the same way, correct? The bedroom is
Yes,
the bedroom
I do.
still there, isn't it?
Yes.
So if I go into her bedroom and I'm sitting at the very end of the bed, like you do all the time, she's still with you. I know there's stuffed animals up to the headboard, by the pillow. You understand that?
Yes.
And
yes.
she said, "Yes, Mommy, there are stars. Look. I don't know if you want to lie down, look up the ceiling, but she said there are stars up there. And I know there's an imprint wallpaper, some little things with little prints of something in a wallpaper. And if you go to the closet, which is to the right side, I know you still have some of her things hanging up there, jackets and shirts and stuff of hers.
Yes, I do.
Did she like basketball at one time, or did she play basketball at the end?
Not really, no.
Was she into sports? Anywhere sports? And she's talking about a jersey or some sport outfit she's wearing. So you must have a jersey or something that belongs. You
Yeah.
must have a jersey still that belonged to her.
I have all her things still,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. She's
And,
she's right
and
with you.
it's tattoo. Who's got the tattoo?
Both myself and my husband.
Oh, great.
Is it a memorial tattoo? It's a memorial tattoo?
Yes, it is. Both
Okay.
of them are, yes.
She wants
Wow,
you to know that she likes the tattoo.
Great.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Fabulous. Very good. There you go, my love. There,
Thank
she's
you
always
so
around
very
you,
much.
darling. She's always around you. Okay, blessings, honey.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You never know what's going to happen, who's going to come through, and wow, Melinda, you're so easy to work with.
Well, thank you. Good thing, because we're doing a seminar together.
I know, really.
Otherwise we'd be
We're
in
doing our
big
seminar
trouble.
together. It's going to be,
We'd
you
be
just
in big
imagine what the
trouble.
seminars would be like. My God, you people should go to the seminar in Phoenix. It's going to be wild. November the 19th.
That's in Scottsdale, November 18th
Scottsdale.
through the 19th, correct?
Right.
An evening of
Yes,
spirit.
Yes, 18th to 7 o'clock p.m. and then the 19th full day. Yeah, pretty good.
And you have your new book coming out right after.
My new book
right
will be
then.
just
So
out.
that'll be available. That's going
Power
to be
of love.
awesome
The
for
power
people.
of love.
Love. Woohoo.
Excellent.
Actually, it's going to be my very first book signing.
Oh,
So my
wonderful.
very first book signing will be there at our workshop, so in Scottsdale.
Great.
So
Super.
it'll be available.
So a big part of this work is about forgiveness. I'm seeing a lot of theme calls, regarding forgiveness. And James, you've got a big event
Big
coming
event.
up tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, that's right, John. I found through, I'm sure Melinda has too, through her years of doing this work, that it all comes down to forgiveness. Forgiving another, forgiving someone passed over, forgiving yourself. Because there are situations in our life that we choose not to forgive. And what that does energetically, it suffers. It makes us suffer. It strangles us.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow night's seminar is about letting go, how to learn to forgive, which is not an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. When you see people, Melinda, who can't forgive, I mean, what do you see energetically? I know you see them without even knowing what the issue is, and you probably say you can't forgive somebody or you're holding on to something. What does that look like clairvoyantly to you?
Well, when people can't forgive, they're so stuck energetically that in their aura field, there's a lot of aches and pains and inflammation in the body because, of course, it affects us in the physical. And there's so much different kind of energy that comes out of that is looks like mud. I guess that's the best way to say it. It looks
Right.
like mud. And you said it great. You said it was a strangulation, but it's almost as if your feet are weighted down by cement or mud that you can't walk forward at all in any kind of grace whatsoever. And, forgiveness is about finding grace within ourselves. And, it's one of the most important things that we can give ourselves in this life is to forgive.
And I found out that in years I've been doing this, that when the spirit people would come through and say, please forgive me, I didn't know what I was doing, please forgive me. And I say to them, it's very important you forgive them because it'll affect every other aspect of your life. You may not be aware, but if you can't forgive your mother who passed over and you just cannot forgive her, it might affect your children's life. Even though they're
Absolutely.
innocent of this, energetically it might affect them.
Because it's part of that karmic profile we were talking about earlier, James, that it comes down through the DNA, And even when there's a toxic person in your life, which I believe that if there's a toxic person in your life, that it's very important to detach from them.
Totally.
But you detach in forgiveness. You don't give them the power of your energy anymore. You detach in a neutral zone.
It's very, very true. Very, very true. So anybody, if you're interested tomorrow night in the seminar, it's right there on Facebook. It's Forgive the Unforgiven. Right, John? You have the
I
information.
do. I have it on the screen right now.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you.
And it is an online event, folks, so you can join
online event
Mhm.
right here tomorrow night. This time, yours truly. So there we go.
Excellent. All right. So we have a question. I believe her name is Charlotte from 603, and I think she's calling about the blueprint. Charlotte, are you on the line? Hello, Charlotte? Okay. All right.
Yes,
We're having some
Charlotte
issues
went the other way.
with the call center today. All right. Well, so let's move on to Janet from 530. Janet.
Okay. Hi, Janet. 530. Hi, Janet. Are you there?
She is not listening
She's
either.
not there either. Wow, it's like they come in and they go. It's like
Yeah.
spirit.
Hi,
spirit.
Janet. Hi, Charlotte.
Boom, 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 boom. How funny. Hi, bye.
Well, keep on speaking on some of the topics about forgiveness while we're waiting and trying to get these
Well,
calls
this
back.
is really interesting. But about 3 weeks ago, I was doing an event in Connecticut, and a father came through to a daughter in the audience, and she was up in the balcony, and he came through with his name and details and how he was dressed. He was dressed in a military uniform, which many times they'll project how they will be remembered. And it was a really great connection. And then all of a sudden, I said to the woman, your mother's here. And she completely changed. I said, your mother wants to speak to you. She goes, I don't want to speak to her. So you can imagine. So here's a spirit trying so hard to come through, maybe many months or years to come through, to find the right medium in order to come through to her daughter. And what it was this daughter would not forgive. We hear you now. Who's that? What's your name?
This is Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte,
Hey,
you're back. We
Charlotte.
heard you. You wished it.
I don't know why you couldn't hear me.
I don't know, darling. Maybe you. Who knows? But now we hear you. How you
That's
doing,
great.
Charlotte?
I'm okay. I'm better now.
Okay, good. How can we help you?
I was just checking in. I see quite a bit of signs from my grandmother around, and I was just kind of wanting to confirm that they were from her.
They're from her. When's your birthday? And turn your
August
phone
5th.
down because I hear myself speaking. I don't like that. Charlotte.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, August the 5th.
I'll put you on.
So,
maybe
Melinda,
that'll
why
be
don't
better.
you want to start tuning into her energetically
Sure,
and
sure,
I'll tune into her? And then we'll see
Sure,
what-
sure,
okay.
sure. Charlotte, you know that you were the apple of Grandma's eye, right? Like she was thrilled when you were born. You know that, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so there's almost as if she were mothering in certain ways. I think there was some lacking in your parenting. And so I think your grandmother kind of made up for that in some certain ways.
She did. Very
Yeah,
much
I
so.
mean, like she was the love connection. Like she had the juice. Like she was your juice. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. Elizabeth. Do you know who Elizabeth is? Which could be a Beth or a Betty.
Elizabeth is my mother's middle name.
Okay. Or what's her first name, please?
My mother's first name?
Yes, I know I'm talking to your grandmother, but give me your mother's first name since I got her second name, please.
Susan.
Okay. So it feels like it skipped a generation that Susan has some compromise energetically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels like it skipped, like you and Grandma are in sync, and it skipped over Susan. And Susan, then there was a lot of difficulty for you, especially around your 15th, 16th year with Susan.
Probably a little bit younger, but yeah, we had some conflict, but
And your dad. And let's talk about your father. So, you'll never get from your dad what you want. You know that, right?
yeah.
You know that one, right? So the problem here is, darling Charlotte, let me tell you, you have something which a lot of Leos have, and I know, unrealistic expectations.
A little bit.
Not only from him, but friends, family. I know it's to be true. And sometimes we've got to be very, very careful because that can be that get to us. That can make us suffer more than we need to. And I just need to say to you that people can only be who they are. You can't make them who they are, right? They have to be who they are. And I know your father would have liked to have shown you more love in the lifetime, as more love. I know he's still living, isn't he, your dad?
He is.
Yeah, but I know that he wants to show you more love, or he can't say I love you, or I know you want more love than he's able to give you. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, and I know that Melinda brought up the name before for somebody else, but would you know Joe or Joseph, living or past?
There's a Joseph past. There's a couple of Josephs past.
Okay, no, your dad or your mom?
No.
Who are they?
Joseph's. The Josephs are related to my stepmother, but
Okay.
one recently passed.
Okay, he's around. And do you know if he drank? Was he alcoholic, or did he drink?
Probably, yeah. I think
I keep on saying alcohol.
both of them probably did.
Okay.
Yeah. But my grandfather did, but he wasn't a
this is
Joseph.
Joe. This is a Joseph. Grandmother smells. I smell perfume all the time from her, so she tries to let you know she smells perfume. Okay, good.
I can smell her sometimes.
Yeah. Who is Margaret? Marjorie.
Her best friend's name was Marjorie.
And she's on the other side with her together. They spend some time together, okay? And how about Ed? Edward. Ed. Edward.
Eddie.
Don't have.
Well,
I don't think. But
keep it.
Okay. Yeah. Keep it. I think
well,
it's
there you
around
go.
your dad, actually. Okay.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks, Charlotte.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Charlotte.
Take care.
Bye.
Alrighty,
John,
let's see. We have
Charlotte through.
Yeah, we finally got her. 971, you're on the air. Can we hear you?
Hello.
There you are. Great.
Hello.
Hi, you're
Hi
on the air with
there.
James and
Hi
Melinda.
Hi.
Hello, James. Hi,
Hello.
Melinda. I'm so happy to speak to you. Blessings. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Wendy, and I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Wendy. Okay, nice to
Hi,
meet you,
Wendy.
Wendy.
Hello.
How can we help you?
I would love to hear from my mother, and if
Okay.
she knew that I was with her at the
Okay.
end.
Sure, of course. What's her name?
My name is Wendy.
What's your mother's name?
Alice.
Alice. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can
she
you
knows. She knows. Go on. I'm sorry, honey. Go on.
That's okay. Can you tell me why I see a lot of purple, violets or purple around her?
Well, that would be something that I think my father would have something to do with.
Okay, then I'm on your father. Where's your father, love?
He's passed over also.
All right, so I'm seeing a lot of purple and violet. So your mother and father come in together, even though I think they had difficulty together. Yes.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So they do come in together because, speaking of forgiveness, I think they're working through some things on the other side, and it has everything to do with you, actually.
Whoa. Gee, okay.
Hello.
That's a good thing. That's in a good way, sweetie. It's in a good way.
Okay.
So your
Okay.
mother loves to sing. She loves singing. Your mother likes to sing. She wants to tell you she's able to sing again. And she's humming a tune. Springtime is really her favorite, she said. Springtime. And I know there would have been time where you thought you might have to put her away somewhere. Was there a thought about having to put her in a nursing home or a hospice or something?
Yes.
Okay. So just give me this in my mind here. And she understands the problems more now than she did when she was sick, because she said she didn't have a right mind about her. She wasn't in her right head. You understand that? She didn't know what was going on, but she said to tell you, I was very aware of you, but I didn't know what was going on. So she must have had a problem with a dementia, something with the head area. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Correct.
And I also know this lady, as she comes in, she's met siblings of hers in the spirit world, and there was been one in particular she hadn't seen for a long time, but she was happy to see him or her. I'm not sure who it is. It's a sibling she hadn't seen for a long time. And I got to tell you that. It almost feels like a twin almost, but it feels so close. And she's met all of her friends in 50s and 40s, and she shows me an old 1954 Chevrolet. Your father must have that. She's met that. Remember the 54 Chevrolet, right? You remember that?
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So Daddy and Mommy are coming together, sharing that memory and sending that into my mind. And your father's wearing pants with pleats.
Well, it was very British.
Oh, it's very pleats. The pleats are very important, you see. Very pleats are very important. Like a soldier almost, I got to say.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, very much so. Your mother's nothing like you remember her. I mean, she's much younger and beautiful and pretty. And I like the violet thing a lot, Melinda. I think that's really, really great. I think that's...
And there's a John. Do you know who John is? I know it's a simple name, but...
My father.
Okay.
Oh, that's his name.
So he wants to say hello to you also. He doesn't want you to get away from him, to also say hello, because he didn't always have an upfront energy with you and tell you how he felt. So he wants you to know that he also loves you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You must own one of his books. You must own some of his books or a book of his. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
He just tells me you own a book or books of his, and if you look into one of them, you'll see his signature in the corner of one, because it belongs to him. And you'll see his hand signature. He said that to tell you that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So he's there. You've done a good job, sweetheart.
Okay, excellent. My mother knew that I cared for her because I was with her while she passed.
Yes, your mother knew. Plus, you must have brushed her hair at one point.
Yes.
And I know you put lotion on her. She said you put lotion on her. She loved that.
You took care of her whole body. You washed her. You took care of her.
Yep.
I did, yes.
Yeah, she knows it.
Okay.
She knows it.
So thank you, my love. God bless you. Thank you.
Bless you too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, you ready for your next caller?
Wait. Let us breathe for a second.
You said keep it on, keep it going fast.
Melinda, I just think it's great, though, as you know, we can work. But a lot of people watching this watch mediums work dovetailing off each other, because we create a space and it's present, and the other medium go in and use that and take that and explain it.
It's working in tandem. It's like we're on the same bicycle.
Right.
You know, it's working in tandem. So I'm happy to ride on a bike behind you any day of the week in Praagh.
It's so much fun, isn't it? It's really, really fun. It's so much fun. I think it's great. That's just great. It's good. Okay. You have any questions, Melinda? You ready to go? Next?
Ready to go. There's somebody that's got balloons in their hand, so I'm waiting for that caller. I'm seeing balloons.
Balloons. All right, so this is rapid fire readings here. We have 480 on the line. 480, I believe her name is Cindy.
Hi, this is Cindy.
Cindy,
Hi,
you're
Cindy.
you're in Phoenix, aren't you? Scottsdale.
I'm in Mesa.
Mesa. I knew it was Arizona. Come see us in November. November 18th.
I've already got my tickets.
Fantastic.
It's good. How can we help you, sweetheart?
I lost my father last November, and I was very close to my dad. And in the beginning, right after he passed,
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. What? All we need to know is his name.
Gary.
Gary. Okay. Melinda, I'm going to let you start, if you don't mind.
Well, you know what, James? I have already spoken to Gary, and I know this call. And I recognize this
Yes,
caller.
you have.
Oh, that's not fair.
Because I have a memory here of Gary,
Okay.
so you go ahead.
Okay, good. That's great. It's great. Did Gary have sisters?
He has one sister.
One sister. Is she still living?
She is.
Okay. I need to let you know that he wants me to tell you that he just visited his sister, or his sister had an experience and she knew it was him. And my head hurts suddenly. I don't know why my head is hurting. Okay. I don't know. My head hurts, man. I just got to tell you that. My head hurts. He's around you all the time. Really, really strongly. Was there a baby born after he died?
Yes, there was.
Okay. Because he wants me to tell you he didn't miss the baby being born. And he's right. He's hello, Melinda. He said hello to you, and he's thanking you. I also need to ask about your mother. Is she still living?
She is.
Okay, because I want to let you know that he came into her dream the other night, either last night or the night before. He came into your mom's dream. So would you please ask her? I know that he's into this.
Okay, I will.
He's really into this whole thing. Go on. And I got to tell you, he's happy where he's at. I don't feel like he's resentful at all. He's very happy. He's pleased, very pleased to have you here. And he shows me a heart, so he gives that heart to you. And he's telling me, go on. I'm sorry.
I think she's just emotional, James.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
Okay. And I know that Thanksgiving is going to be a big deal. And I know that he's going to be there Thanksgiving because there's a lot of stuff there about your dad Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Has it been less than a year?
He actually passed away Thanksgiving morning last year.
Oh, there you go.
Ding. Mm-hmm. So I knew it was Thanksgiving. I knew that was a real significant. He kept on showing me Thanksgiving, a turkey, an orange. And he put his picture there at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I'm like, what is this a picture of you? It's a picture of him, 8x10 picture in a frame. And we want to have that at Thanksgiving. I put it right in the counter. And he's giving me this. So that's why Thanksgiving. Wow, that's amazing. Sweetheart, did he like to ride bicycles?
When he was younger, I think I remember Dad riding a bike when he was younger.
What if taught you about riding a bike when you were 10 years old?
He actually taught me how to ride a bike.
That's what I just said. He taught you to ride a bike when you were 10 years old, he just said to me. So he's telling me.
Yeah.
And he must be buried, yes? Is he buried?
He must be what?
Buried? Is he buried?
He was buried, yes.
Because he must be buried. You went there and you must have dusted off his gravestone recently or did something at the gravesite.
I did. I did 2 weeks ago.
He showed me you cleaning something off or taking the dust off, this sort of thing, and putting flowers in. Mm-hmm. And he said it was right there with you. Why would you what? He's so funny. He's very practical. He's very down to earth, this guy. He's very black and white. He goes, well, why would you think I'm in the ground?
Well, I actually ordered a Christmas wreath when he's buried in Portland, Maine, and I actually ordered a Christmas wreath to be put on his gravestone the day after Thanksgiving. And when I got home, I got to thinking, he's really not there. Why am I doing this? But it's just a symbol.
You know what?
Spirit appreciates symbols, Cindy.
It's an act of
That's
love.
all right. That's right.
act
It's an
of
act
love.
of love. That's right.
Yeah, so Cindy, don't
it's
worry.
all
That's-
Well, I look for signs every day, and I talk to him every day, and all of a sudden, I feel like I don't see his signs anymore.
So part of that could be that you're trying too hard, right? And when we try too hard, it's like a vice. And we try so hard, we kind of squeeze the atmosphere, and they can't get through the wall because they're trying so hard because we have thought energy, which is stopping it. So relax, sit in the quiet, calm down, balance yourself, meditation, be in the water, you'll hear him. When you drive in the car, you'll hear him. It's very, very subtle, Cindy. You have to get in the atmosphere for him to come through. And that's being very quiet and subtle. He's there. It's just a matter of you opening up the space to hear him.
He shows me a sunflower tonight, Cindy, okay? He's showing me a sunflower. He's showing me a sunflower tonight. So that would be your next sign. That would be a sign for when you see the sunflower, okay?
Okay.
And tell your mom he loves her. Please tell mom he loves her and he's around her, please. He's sitting next to her watching television.
I will do that.
He's sitting next to her watching television.
He's with somebody named
Rosemary.
Mary Rose.
He's with Rosemary. Well, Rosemary is Tom's mother that just passed away in April.
Wow. Well, that's who's
my husband's. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Well, I guess they're both coming for Thanksgiving, Cindy. I guess
that's right.
Okay. I will set a place. I will set a place for both of them.
Thanks, sweetheart.
All right. I will do that.
You're a doll. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you in November.
Okay, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
All right.
Well, I love that reading. I love that, Melinda.
I did too.
What a pleasant person. What a nice connection.
Well, wait till you see how beautiful that lady is. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Wow. And you did a reading for her once before then?
I think I've read for her a couple different times, yeah.
Wow. And do you get a lot of people that call you from all over the world?
I do. I do get a lot of phone calls from all over the world, but, particularly Chicago, Texas, New York, and Florida.
Wow. Interesting.
Interestingly, yeah. And aren't you big, isn't New York a big market for you
my
too,
market
James?
market is Arizona's number one, believe it or not. The Phoenix Scottsdale area is number one. Number two is New York, then Chicago, then LA, then Chicago, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, I do some from LA also, but a lot from Manhattan. A lot from Manhattan.
I would think also a lot from Australia, probably. A lot of people try to from Australia.
One or two, 3 or 4 from Australia. They're Mutant Message Down Under. You remember that book, Mutant Message Down Under? It's a good book, yeah.
Do you find that there are different places in the country that people call into the different energy to read?
Oh, 100%.
How would
the
you
energy
describe
from, that's a good question. So people from the East Coast, you can be more blatantly open and firm with. Direct, yeah. I'm from New York myself, so if I get somebody from New York or Philadelphia or Boston or someplace like that, I can be a little bit less soft because softness is not really in my nature. But when I get people from other areas of the country that don't have that strong, Eastern vibe, you have to slow it down or soften it up a little bit. There's a little more gentle energy if you're raised in a Midwest small town or, something like that. But religious backgrounds too, James, don't you find that it depends on somebody's religious background, how easy it might be to read for them? And different countries have different energy. I find it wonderfully easy to read for, say, the Japanese.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it just depends on the country and maybe the intrinsic spirituality of how the country developed, that kind of thing.
Very good.
So,
very good.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, John, any calls about people want to know about the soul blueprint or the karmic profile?
We haven't. No,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be great to have calls to be focused around that. But we do have a call from California. 209 is next in line.
Okay.
209 is on the air.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Who's
John.
Who's this?
Hello, Melinda. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Jerry. Hi.
Hi.
So lovely to talk to you. Met you in Dallas, John. Thank you. You're wonderful. Love you.
John, you're in Dallas? Me? Is this married?
I'm in Dallas.
Okay. What is your name?
I'm in Dallas now. Jerry.
Jerry.
Hi,
okay,
Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
How can we help you, Jerry?
Well, I have a question about a dear friend's suicide.
Okay.
His name was Robert, and it was a horrible, horrible thing. Very, very unexpected. Did it on an anniversary of a wedding anniversary, and just horrible.
Don't tell us
2
anymore.
days.
So we'll see what Jerry. We'll see what we get for you. Okay. We'll just tune and see what we get. Okay. Okay. I don't know if there was a family. He had a large family. Like, did he have siblings? Okay, because I know I know that there were siblings. I know there's conditions or conflicts with family members. I know that. I know he's away from them or he lives away from them. But I know there's some unresolved issues with family members. No doubt about it. From parents all the way to siblings. And I'm aware of that. I'm also aware of there must have been some kind of an emotional, oh God, I don't know how to say this, emotional disconnect or something didn't happen emotionally for him. He got very, very hurt. I don't know. Melinda, you got anything there?
Yeah, it feels to me like he was an expert at covering up. He just put a face on. He had a mask on all the time. When he finally took the mask off, he couldn't take what he saw in the mirror. He thought that everybody would be better off without him. That's what he told himself. There was some ongoing energy from the time that he was really, really young that may not be awareness. There's a Diane and a David in his energy field. He felt crippled by his own emotions. He couldn't express himself well. When he tried to express himself, he tripped all over himself. And so he pulled back behind that mask again. He had some issues with his lower body. He had a lot of energy of not being able to be himself and find himself. And he felt like the only way he could find himself was to leave the planet.
I keep on getting the word ran away, or the saying, ran away, I ran away, I ran away. And his toes weren't good, or a toe wasn't good, or something with a toe. I don't know if there was a toe that got infected or something with his toes. But when you said lower body, I was looking right at his feet. He was not comfortable with himself. He wasn't comfortable with himself. I got to tell you that. Not comfortable with himself. I'm telling you, I couldn't find the love that I felt like he deserved. That's what he's talking about. He has a really good body now, he wants me to tell you. He has a good body. Can I say that to you? He has a good body. He needs to say that. Does that make sense to you?
That's cool.
Okay. Good.
Yes, it does.
Good. He has a good body.
What's really funny is 2 days after this happened, he came to me during my meditation, and he told me, he said, I'm happy now. And then it was funny because I saw him, I heard what he was going to say to me, but he stopped because he knew what my reaction would be. But he was going to say, everyone's better off without me.
Yeah. I think he's finding that out differently now. I think
that's what he thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Many people think suicide means selfish. I have had people say, well, they're so selfish that they took their own life. It's not selfish. People who take their own lives believe that the world is better off without them. They don't do it in a selfish way. They do it in a way in which they feel like they're saving other people from their issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, I do believe he's at peace, absolutely. But it was so raw, I couldn't tell his wife that yet because that he came to me and he's good and he looks good and he's at peace and he's happy, but it's just too raw for her and I couldn't tell her. It's okay.
You can't tell her in time. He's a very handsome fellow too. And I know that his father must have passed over to the other side as well. He's over there with his dad. Yes. Okay? Because he wants me to share with you that he's gone fishing with his father. He's going fishing with him. And that might sound very, very strange, but he's going fishing with his father. And that's what he wants me to say to you.
That's neat.
Okay.
That's really neat.
And there's a German Shepherd over there as well. There's a doggy over there as well. So he has this German Shepherd. Got to tell you that. Okay. And please tell his wife he's all right. Please tell his wife about the German Shepherd and tell her he's all right.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Thank
Can I
you,
ask
sweetheart.
you one quick thing about me?
Go right ahead.
One quick thing about me. I'm having just real health issues right now.
Especially in your abdominal area?
No.
It's all gut health for you.
Huh?
I think it's gut health for you. I think it's inflammation from something from gut health.
There's inflammation. It's in the back.
But I think, honey, that you're holding on to some stuff in your gut, and that the inflammation comes from something in your gut, some gut health. From the inflammation is worse because of it.
Something hasn't been resolved.
Oh.
It's not resolved, so it's irritation. So it's got to be resolved. You're also a very sensitive person, but you're a sensitive person, but you try to hide that. You kind of block that sensitivity, whether it's through smoking, cigarettes, whether it's drinking.
Yeah.
You know, you hide it. You hide your sensitivity because you dull it down. You dull it down. And I think this is what's going on is you're going to have to start feeling stuff and realize you can't dull it down anymore. So it's going to have to be a lifestyle change for you.
Okay.
You need a colonic and a stretch therapist, darling.
To begin with.
I need a what?
A colonic and a stretch therapist.
And a stretch therapist.
And I'd love you to stop smoking.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm really trying. My husband and I both.
You should, Jerry.
We're really working on it.
Jerry, you should come tomorrow night for the forgiveness seminar. I think it'll really, really help you.
Agree. 100%, Jerry.
We are going to be there. My husband has already signed up, so we will be there. Definitely.
I think it'll really, really help you, sweetheart. Okay. Thank you, love.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry. Take care.
Thank you so much. Love to you both.
Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, Jerry.
Bye-bye.
All right.
So it's very interesting. People talk about suicide because I know a lot of people are talk about suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Number one questions people ask me are about suicide. So, Melinda, what is your feelings on suicide? What's your perspective on that?
My perspective on suicide is that just like everybody else that needs a healing, if you're suffering from depression or something that is interrupting your flow of energy and you need to get healed, sometimes you can get healed here and sometimes you get healed over there, just like cancer. Sometimes you die from cancer and you get healed over there. Sometimes you get healed here. It's still a healing. When we get to heaven, we're all healed in some form or fashion. So I think it's just a lot of baloney that our religions have taught us, that it's all about going to hell, when actually the earth plane is hell anyway. So
exactly.
So everybody that not that I don't think that it definitely creates karma, and there's definitely repetitive energy that happens with it, and who wants to come back here? But it's not a situation where you go to hell or anything.
Yeah, behind the act. So if it's somebody who is very, very healthy and decide, well, their Google stock went down, so they jump out a window, that's very, very different than someone having a brain chemical disorder. That's very, very different. So we got to take into consideration that. And most people should realize the soul, again, can never be harmed. Like we're talking about, the soul can never be harmed. And now here's another one, which is really interesting. And we don't know till we pass over, but there's always possibilities too, that there's a soul who chose that with the soul group, that they would leave the body that way, and that there'd be a learning from their soul family that they have to learn about. You've heard of this?
Yes, 100% agree on that. Absolutely. Yeah. And unfortunately, I've said that to people who are suffering that kind of loss, and it's very hard for them to wrap their heads around it. Yeah. But you notice, James, when you talk to people who've suffered that loss, there's two ways to go. You either remain a victim to it for the rest of your life, or you empower yourself into spirituality. Exactly. So it's a window of opportunity. And you're in agreement with the other soul for that window of opportunity. So if you stay a victim, that's on you.
It's very true. Very, very true. Oh, you're so smart.
Love that advice. That's
Melinda's
great.
The best.
All right, so we have 780 on the line. 780, you're on the line with James and Melinda. Please mute your background. 780, are you on the line? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello? Are you on the line?
No, we have to get someone else.
All right, we're going to have to come. Folks, when you call in, please mute your background. Listen through the telephone. Do not listen through a speakerphone or through your computer. Just mute the background.
It freaks us out.
Yeah, there's a delay. All right, so we're moving on to 916. 916, you're on the line with James and Melinda. Hi.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Sharon.
Sharon. Okay, Sharon. What's
up?
Hi,
Sharon.
Hi. Well, I was just wondering if you've heard from my dad.
Oh, what's his name?
Jim.
Jim? J-I-M?
J-I-M. Or James.
James, yes. I understand that name. Go on.
He went by Jim.
Melinda, you want to start?
Sure. Okay, Sharon. He's showing me something with ducks. Can you tell me why he's showing me ducks? Were you around a lake or water?
They had a pond in their backyard.
Yeah,
The dining room window looked over.
He liked to sit out back there, didn't he? And do you go out in your backyard sometimes and connect with him? And there's something about wind chimes and some kind of bells around that. And so, are you sitting out in your background to make that connection? And do you know who William or Bill is? And can you tell me about a brother?
I had an Uncle Bill. It would be
my
great Uncle Bill.
Oh, it was his uncle. Okay, all right. And so
that was my mom's uncle.
Okay, so his mom's brother. Okay, and are you going out in your own backyard and making a connection with some wind chimes and that kind of thing? And
I have wind chimes they gave me 20 years ago.
Good. And can you tell me who smoked a pipe?
My dad.
Okay, and can you tell me about the train?
The train. I can hear a train from my
you hear
house.
it. You hear it from your backyard. You hear it from your backyard, the train.
I do.
And do you smell the pipe smoke sometimes? My dad smoked a pipe. I love to smell the pipe smoke. Do you smell it sometimes, darling?
Sometimes.
Okay. Because
sometimes I do.
He'll come in with that smell. That smell. He's showing me something about his pants. Did he unbutton his pants sometimes and hang out with his pants open? Or did he have something with a belt buckle? Or what is he showing me the top of his drawers for?
He passed from Alzheimer's and pancreatic cancer. And so his pants would bother his stomach.
So that's what he's showing me, that the pants, something with the pants, letting go of the pants.
You had to loosen the belt every once in a while.
And I would help him.
Yeah, okay, honey.
Yes, I would help him.
Okay, and he's actually giving me a nursery rhyme. Mary had a little lamb. Why is he saying that? Is there something about a lamb, or was he something that gave you nursery rhymes when you were a kid, or what is that?
They had a sheep ranch.
Okay, very good. So that's what he said. Mary had a little lamb.
Wow.
Okay, very good, sweetheart.
Very good.
So he wants you to know that it's all right, darling.
Wow.
He's right there. Okay, and let's see if James can help.
I'm not touching that.
Time to link up, James.
Yeah, no, I just enjoy watching Melinda work. Wow, it's so great. I love that.
Well, your daddy loves you very much. Being a daddy's girl myself, I understand that feeling. So I want you to know, there's something about an orange shirt, or like bright orange.
That would probably be. I'm sorry.
Just
my
breathe in.
best friend's mom who passed away like 30 years ago. His mom had gave him a shirt just before she died, and that was one of his favorite possessions.
His orange shirt. So
and that was Tom.
So,
very good.
So he'd show himself in the orange shirt.
Very good.
Your father wants me to show you the blanket, so you must have wrapped him in a blanket or held him, make sure, because he always said he was cold, and you wanted to make sure he was always warm. Do you understand? And so you wrap him in the blanket, and he remembers you wrapping him in the blanket, and he said, "Oh, I'm so warm. I'm perfect now. He's perfect now." He doesn't want you to think of him as old. He doesn't like that. He likes to think of him as young.
He doesn't.
No, he's a young man. He's not old, and he's smart, very bright. He has glasses on as well when he's younger. Really smart man.
Yeah.
He's very bright. A very bright soul. He's good with money or finances or numbers. I'm seeing numbers here, and he can tell people right away who they are, good or bad or indifferent. He can size you up right away and tell you what's going on. Do you know Charles or Charlie or Chuck? Do you know if he had some of that name?
Oh my gosh, his best friend Chuck. We just found out has stage 4 cancer.
Okay, well,
so would you let him know he's around him, please?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Would you let him know he's around him, please?
I will. Thank you
good.
so much.
Yep.
Is he around me and my sister and my
Absolutely.
mom?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
There's something about his hair. Did he have some kind of a thing with his hair?
He's handsome. Handsome
I
man.
used to. Yes, and he was a wonderful guy. He was a great guy. I would brush his hair for
There
him.
you go. Look, my
he
hand.
liked
My
that.
hand.
Yeah, he likes that.
Hands
Yeah.
are moving.
He likes that with the hair, okay?
Yeah.
All right, sweetheart.
But,
He is
yeah,
with you.
at the end, I would run his hair a lot because he was just in bed. He had died 2 days after Christmas 2 years ago.
What a wonderful
That's
time to
exactly
go.
what I would do.
Listen, honey, think about it. What a wonderful time to go, right at Christmas time. You know, when it's such a wonderful energy of the world being filled with peace and love. That's a wonderful time for a spirit to exit.
And I think he was waiting. All the family came to my house to see him.
He was waiting to
We
see
all
everybody.
Knew it was time.
He was
And
waiting
he
for
was
everybody.
Waiting for everybody.
What he was waiting, and he got your kiss on the cheek. He said, "You got your kiss on the cheek." Why do you think he didn't? And it was he got your kiss on the cheek. He said, "Wants me to tell you that." And thank you for the send off. Thank you for the send off.
I thanked him, and I told him I'd take care of my mom and my sister.
You're doing a great
and
job.
It was okay to go.
You're doing a great job. Great
You're
job.
wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pass on the messages.
You're welcome.
I will.
Okay. Bye-bye,
Thank you.
sweetheart. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, folks, just to let you know that the calls live on podcasts. So you can go back and review the calls on UBN Radio, on iTunes, on Spreaker, on Stitcher, anywhere that you can find James's Spirit Speaks podcast. Also, on your Facebook.
Sorry. And it's also true that when we read one person,
yeah,
the message is for everybody that's listening. I mean, it
yes.
applies to every single person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just saying for the ones that might be taking notes, they can always go back and play the recording for other family members. I think that's a really great thing to do.
You know, I just want to say that, you know, I've known James for a long time, and neither James nor I take any of this for granted. We want you to know that it means a great deal to us both to be able to make these connections for you. And we honestly and truly love everybody that we touch and connect to, and do whatever we can to keep that connection going always. And that's one of the reasons why I love James von Praagh so much, because he is a man that's filled with graciousness and love and generosity.
Yes, he is.
Thank you. Back at you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Love fest.
Love fest.
All right, we have Roger on the line from 760, I believe. Let's hope the computer's correct. Roger, 760. Hi, you're on the air with James and Melinda.
Good evening.
Hello, Roger.
Hi,
How are
Roger.
You?
You're calling from Palm Springs. Is that right? I think Roger's phone might have died. Hello? I think Roger's phone died, Melinda.
I see that.
Johnny,
oh, yeah, I'm still here. That's bizarre. Okay.
I think that Roger's phone died the moment we were going to
do a reading with him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really. Hold on. Yes. So, Roger, call back if you see this. You can call back on another number if you can.
And it could be that there's an issue on our line, too. So let me go back and check that. So you guys keep talking, and I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. So, Melinda, when's the next time I'm going to be seeing you?
Well, probably not till November, since you're going to be flying off away to Europe for a little while, yeah?
Yes,
So,
she's going to be guest hosting one of these weeks. In a couple of weeks, she's going to be here again. And
I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
Yay! And they're going to be November the 18th, an evening of spirit, and we'll do messages for the audience members. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely. And then the next day, I'm going to do some karmic profile stuff and talk about karmic profile, and you're going to teach the secrets of mediumship, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, different ways of fitting in. A lot of different ways. It's good.
That's great.
It's really
So,
good.
going to have a good time. Yeah.
So I looked up your moon. It's moon in Gemini.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that makes us natural together because my moon is in Sagittarius, and
Ah.
Sagittarius is a fire sign, and Gemini is an air sign. So the two would let each other go and be great
Oh, that's
together.
great to hear.
Plus,
Wonderful.
we're both Virgos, so we understand each other. So we're both
Yeah,
healers.
Our birthdays are close together, but you're younger than I am, James.
Not by much, honey. And as the days go on.
That's okay, James. Old chickens make great soup.
And tell people where they can get in contact with you if they want a reading from you.
Yeah, Melinda Vail at melindavail.com. And, we're out 6, 8, 9 months, even though I work long hours, but we try to get to as many people as we can. And I have this greatest assistant in the whole world. His name is Izzy. And he does everything he can to make things run smoothly around here. And so, yeah, give us a call. I'm happy. You know what, James? I have a little special way that I do readings. Not the way that we're doing it now, but I actually read off of photographs.
Oh, really?
So,
That's great.
yeah. The Native Americans say that a picture captures your soul.
I think you
So,
did that once when I was with you years and years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah, so I can look at a photograph and get a whole personality profile of someone and, all their karmic profile and all the energy around them. It's very interesting. You can see things in photographs that people don't notice.
Very true. Yeah. Very, very true. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that when I do the this type of a thing in radio, hearing their voice opens me up. But if I see their face, it might throw me off.
Oh, really?
But I'd like to do readings holding photos also, tuning to spirit that way. That's right. I like to do that. We'll do that together when we're together in November.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Today I had an interesting reading. I had scissors that were in the background of a photograph with somebody. And I said, look at the scissors in the background. She said, I've never even noticed that. There were actually scissors that were like, Where's Waldo kind of in the picture. And I was saying, this obviously spirit wanted her to cut the cord from something there. So that was really interesting. Yeah. So you can see all kinds of things in photos. It's so amazing.
Do you use a lot of symbols when you're reading? Do you find?
I used to more than I do now. I think, when in the beginning, when you're first doing this work and you're scared to hurt somebody's feelings or you're scared to be wrong, spirit would give something in symbols. And then after a while, people come back and what you thought that they didn't get, they got it. And they came back and said to you, oh, I got that now. So then you're no longer afraid. So then you can get things more, right dead on without worrying about the symbols of it. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. John, are you there?
Yes, James, I'm here. Okay. We're just trying to get all the calls back, so
okay.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
It's a great conversation. Let's see what else. I have something for you.
So tell me about your new book, James. Tell us a little bit about
my new book, The Power of Love. The Power of Love. You mean the book that's right here?
Yes, that's your new book, James.
The Power of Love. We're going to have some shows about it, but it's a book that Spirit gave me about 2 years ago to write this. And again, I wrote it over a year ago, and I don't remember everything that comes through, but it's all about having the situations in life, whether predicaments, situations, scenarios in your life that you can't find a way out. And I give you little ways out by using love, whether it's discernment or self-love or responsibility or forgiveness or harmony. So I go through different aspects of life, different scenarios, and where people would apply this certain level of aspect, if you will, of love, then they can solve that problem in their life. And it's called The Power of Love. Comes out November 15th, and I'm really thrilled about it. It's like my little baby.
Sounds great, right? Yeah. Like those four gurus of my generation, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. All you need is love, right, James?
All you need is love. And the love you make is the love you take. The love you take is the love you make. Wait, the love you make is the love you take.
Right.
Very
Absolutely.
True. So true. Spirit will often say that. They'll say, well, the love you create in the earth is exactly what you'll take with you because that's what you've created in your lifetime. You take whatever you created in your lifetime, good, bad, or indifferent, you bring that with you.
So, good. Well, I have a book that came out last year called Morning Musings with Melinda, and it is a 365-day book of giving a little bit of a statement about understanding boundaries or love or spirit or energy, and then you meditate on it, and there's a little journaling section for it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Wow. Yes. Well, where can they find Amazon?
Yep, Amazon. And then, I did that anti-bullying children's book. So it's if you could see inside of me. So.
Tell people about that because it's really, really incredible.
Well, who knew an old white woman could write rap songs?
She wrote rap songs for this book, everybody.
Rap songs. And it's a book done in rap about different ways kids are bullied, and there's even a rap from the bully's perspective. And my goal for this book is to raise funds for Title I schools here in Arizona. We have an awful lot of issues in Arizona with our education system, so I'm hoping to get that launched and up and running so we can raise some funds for some things that we need in schools: uniforms, musical instruments, art supplies, that kind of thing.
And can you do a rap for us?
Let's see. I think the one rap.
Not to put you on the spot, but.
Wait a minute. Let me think, James. I like to be a bully on account of my dad. He's always yelling at me and making me sad, and that's all that I can remember. And so.
I like that. That's rockabilly.
Great.
Or rapabilly. That's what it is. I love that.
That's great.
And on that note, John says, let's hurry up and get these callers.
Well, we're having some problems with the call system, so that's the issue. So we'll just keep it going with the conversation here. But I have the event is coming up again. I wanted to promote that again. That is November 18th through the 19th in Scottsdale, an evening of spirit that's going to be with Melinda and James. You get to see them in person, and they will deliver, hopefully, a message for you from your loved ones.
And we never know what's going to happen. And we set down like the details or bullet points of what the evening is going to entail and the weekend's going to entail. But then when we get there and the people that come, the energy they bring with them, boy, it shifts everything, doesn't it, Melinda?
Sure does. I don't know if you remember this, James, but years ago, we had lunch and you were teaching here and you said, come back and just say something.
I remember, yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, it's like the Pope asking a priest to do Mass. I was like, but you remember somebody caught my picture while I was out, because I walked among the audience, and somebody caught my picture, and there were 1,000 orbs around me.
All the orbs.
Do you remember that?
Yes, all the orbs.
It was just amazing. All the spirit that was there to talk, it was wonderful and a good time.
And what is an orb for those that don't know?
Yeah, an orb. What is an orb for people that don't know?
An orb is an energy that shows through a photograph that looks like a bubble of light, which is really just a representation of a spirit in the room.
And I find that there could be several spirits making one orb and projecting that as well. And during the weekend, we'll come together and we'll do what I call an orb photo. Well, we'll bring through these orbs, and then people will tell people when to take the pictures, and they'll be shocked to see thousands.
That would be just awesome.
Because you and I together in an atmosphere. Hello, just saying.
Yeah, lots of things flying around.
It's very, very true.
And now that Halloween is quickly approaching, what's the difference between a ghost and someone who's crossed over to the other side?
Oh, well, Melinda, you want to go first on that one? Then I'll.
Well, I tell my 7-year-old grandchild that there's no such thing as ghosts.
Okay.
I think that maybe that the impression is that ghosts are energy that are stuck somewhat on the earth plane. I personally don't believe it. I don't believe in ghosts, and I don't believe in evil spirits. I believe in evil people, but I don't believe in evil spirits. I believe that once we're crossed over, we're an energy that goes back to the source, and we figure it out somehow. And so I do believe that in one's consciousness, you can believe in ghosts. We're raised with the idea of ghosts, so we can perceive it that way if we want to. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that we give it a lot of fuel. If you think there's a ghost, you give it fuel and fuel and fuel, and it makes more and more. I think, I did the show The Ghost Whisperer, and that was a really interesting study for me, because I don't believe necessarily in ghosts per se, like we had it portrayed on the show. And if I can't tell you how many hours I would say to the producer or say to the spirit, why am I doing this? Why are you making me do this? There's violence in this show. And it's like, where's the spirituality? And they said, people's understanding, first you have to open it up and educate people. And so that's how you're going to get them into the show. And then at the very end of the show, you educate them and bring them into the spiritual, which is exactly what happens in every episode. Ghosts, to me, maybe there's an emotional imprint that someone had an experience, and there's an emotional imprint, a layer of that imprint that stays in the ethers. But I think the full soul of that being moves into the light. Might be an emotional component, maybe
That's a really good way to put it, an emotional component or a residue of energy.
A residue of energy. I like that. Residue of energy. That's more appropriate, I think. Residue of energy.
I think so too.
And when the Halloween itself, people don't realize the veil that separates the both worlds seems to be very, very close, or the curtain seems to be opened a bit, and they're able to reach through, or able to open up and receive spirit much easier than other times of the year. Don't you find that, Melinda?
Yeah, I do. And it's interesting that, the different takes on what Halloween really means, and how people perceive it.
I was under the impression that Halloween is why people dress up in different costumes and all that is to celebrate the reincarnation or the different lifetimes that people have. Have you guys heard that?
Really? No, I've never ever heard that. I like that.
I like it.
It's like a celebration.
I've been incarnated as a witch a couple times, though, John.
Sort of like how the soul has had many different lifetimes and very just different roles, roles. So it's sort of like in Halloween they get to play those different roles.
I like that. I like that. Actually, I did a party once during Virtue. We did a past life party, come as a past life, and that was pretty fun. I went as a priest, of course.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of pictures there. Yeah, very, very fun. But I think also it goes back to those days, way back, harvest days. We used to celebrate the harvest.
Mhm.
And it was a way of thanking the gods for the harvest that they'd reap, because
Mhm.
this is the time of year that they'd reap their harvest. And in a way, it was thanking the gods for the harvest. That's where originally it came from.
Yeah, I was almost howling at the moon last night, looking at the moon. It was so beautiful.
Full
I
moon.
took some
Beautiful
videos.
full moon.
Yeah, it was really gorgeous. And the
full
cloud
moon
cover
night.
around it was just really eerie and beautiful. It was really cool.
A full moon is a really good time to release negative energy, or energy which is not in balance or in your space. Don't you find, Melinda, the full moon really does affect people's energetic levels?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's true that people come out, the crazies come out in the full moon for sure. That there's a lot of crazy energy that happens in the full moon. But I use the full moon for manifestation meditation.
Same here.
Mhm.
Same
Yeah,
here.
I definitely want to, work with manifestation all the time if I can do it. I have a saying, go big or go home. So I'm just always busy trying to manifest and not worrying about negative stuff back there if I can help it.
Yeah. Or releasing old stuff maybe, but bringing in the new stuff for sure. Oh, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Good.
All right. Well, we are coming to the end of the show. Unfortunately, the callers that were in queue can stay on the line and be connected to the new show that's coming up next, which would be Dr. Shirley and Kelly, both sides now. They will be taking calls.
Oh,
so
great.
folks
Well, they're
who are
the
on,
best.
yeah,
So,
so
hey,
the
go from
folks who are still on the
Yeah.
line can get a reading with hopefully Kelly for that show coming up soon here on channel.
Melinda, she reminds me of you. You and Kelly are very similar. You'll have to meet Kelly. You're very
I'd
similar.
love to. Yeah.
Yeah,
very
she's
good.
also a Virgo. She's also does therapy work. She's also an incredible medium. Yes, you have a lot of commonalities. Just
Very
saying.
nice. Very nice. I'll make a point of that, James.
For sure.
Well,
Well,
you
thank
have
you,
a
John.
good trip in Europe, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much. And enjoy the show when you're coming to host it.
Thank you. I will. And thank you, John. It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. I had a really great time with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Folks, be sure to check out iHeartRadio. James is now on iHeartRadio with Spirit Speaks, and on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, all the great places where you can find the podcast, and at ubnradio.com. And you can play back those wonderful readings that were given today by Melinda and James. So we will see you guys next week. Well, James won't be here next week, but he will have a special guest for you next week.
And Melinda will be back in a couple of weeks.
Yes, yes. So thanks again.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melinda.
Good
Bye.
Take care.